Welcome everyone, this is John. What do you do it? I'm a big fan of rigid power tools. I don't have all their tools, but I have quite a bit of them. The one that I'm the biggest fan of is the impact driver. I use that on a lot of stuff. I had the impact driver for a couple of years, and I really didn't start using it until this year, actually. Oh my god, what a difference! So this is me using the rigid impact driver to put in a couple of screws in this. I'm working on steps on my deck. This was a live stream, so the quality is not that good. The problem I have with the batteries is that the power is exposed. I don't like, it's not exposed in such a way that I can easily touch it with metal. But when I have a tool bag full of drill bits or screws, we can definitely get something in there that'll make contact. So what I want to do is design a battery cover for this. So give me a moment. I want to send out tweet here for this video. So I will go to my Twitter and create a tweet. I just need the link for the video. Is where? Why am I drawing a blank right now? This is fun. Yep. Expecting to see the stream here under live. All right, there we go. Stream. And need. No, that's not the link I want. The actual video link. Huh. Okay. I'll just do that for now. No, that won't even work. It will work, but it's not. It won't have the impact I want. So I will skip that for now and continue. So I have, this is the Rigid Power Tools. This is their Twitter. This is the battery that I have. And what I did was I used this battery, put it on my scanner, the printer scanner, and I scanned it. And then I brought it into Adobe Illustrator and I traced out this pattern because I didn't want to have to deal with having to draw these arcs and everything within Fusion 360. I wanted to just draw them out, and then I drew some reference lines. So I zoomed in all the way, and I followed the path closest to this label, and placed 2 dots for a line, and did the same thing here for this. So I had 2 reference points, so I could know to rotate it. So then I imported that into Fusion 360, and I just deleted the set of lines prior to doing the live stream. That was the curve that wasn't being rotated, because I wanted to keep one in place so I could see how much it was being rotated. And I rotated this entire thing together, and I zoomed pretty far in, and I'm convinced that this is as straight as it needs to be. And this should measure out exact, because I used the measuring tool within Adobe Illustrator, and it seemed like it was right on. So it's about 71. Ooh, that's not right. No. So something happened in the importer. Let's see. So I need to. I'm going to measure the 2 outside points here. Use the inside. So what I'm doing is I'm measuring in here to get a reference point. I got 71.5, and right here I'm measuring 54.72. That is not a measurement that I want. I'm just wondering if I rotated this along another axis. Nope. Alright, so now I just need to apply. Let me take another measurement from the top, bottom of that curve. Right about there, and I got 43.8. Let me just check that measurement. So I'll measure from this point down to about here. Nope, let's make sure my audio levels are fine. Testing 1, 2, 3. Okay, good. Draw this as construction, and I'll go from this point to here. And do that curve down to that point. So that's the point I'm measuring to, that I got 43 millimeters on. Probably gonna be 20 based on that last measurement I took. 32. Alright, so I definitely need to bump this up some. Let me double check this measurement here. The measurement is 72. We'll just call it 72. I'm getting a measurement of 54. So 72 divided by 54. So 1.3. So this whole thing needs to be scaled up by 1.3. And the purpose of doing this was so I didn't have to worry about drawing these in Fusion 360. I want to scale. Yeah. Do them together. Point in which I will scale from. We said 1.3. It's all kind of wacky now for that construction line, but that's all right. 72 just off by the tiniest amount. That millimeter will make a difference. That means it won't fit. I'm getting 72 here. I have to undo that scaling. And we'll just see what happens if I scale it to 1.3. Just repeat scale. Let me scale here. And these point, and we'll just do 1.3 and see how that measures out. Let's see if I can do a dimension by hitting the D key. So it's just off by the littlest amount. So let's undo that scale. I'll dimension again prior to doing this. And again, I just hit the D key. And let's scale. 1.33. Hey, what happened to my dimension? Oh, you know what? I might not hit enter. A little bit too big. I think that's too big. So I mentioned this before. You always take 3 measurements if you care about accuracy. I just want to make sure that I'm slightly smaller. I don't want to be larger. So I got 72. Undo again. I want to make sure that this is good. Yeah, there's my dimension. I don't know why it wasn't showing up. As soon as it does this, it gets rid of the dimension. And let's do 1.32. Undo it again, and I'm just going to do 1.1. I think I have to hit enter. There we go. That's good. Now, this point is out a little bit. Oh, I wonder if I should just mirror this, because I think this side is fine. I wonder if I can do that. Copy all this. Get rid of the dimension. Copy, paste, move him out of the way. Now I want to delete that guy and then delete all this. Right. Now we can take this guy and mirror. That's something I can do. Let me bring up my phone and see if there's anything going on. In Gigabit network on Friday. See what Rigid's yes. Rigid power. I think I can just share this video. This is tweeting to Rigid power. Title of this video. Rigid power battery cover and 60 and 3D printing. For safe battery storage live stream. Wish they had this automated a lot better within YouTube, that you could tweet the live stream and it would bring everything over instead of just a link. I had to type all that over again. All right, very good. Moving on. So what I want to do is mirror this part, because I'm not confident that that's drawn the way that I want it to be. And sketch maybe, is there a mirror here? Mirror, yes. All right, mirror line. Need a line. Actually need a line. Do that. Nope. Selecting is enough. And what information. Select the sketch curves to mirror. Then select the line to mirror around. Must be a line on the active sketch. Okay. So let's see if we can do this. Draw a line. Okay. That'll be our mirror line. Sketch, mirror, mirror line, select. There we go. Yes, that's what I want. So, got all this garbage in there. Need these points to be joined together. Can't tell if they're joined. Nope, they are not joined together. So can I join 2 points together? In Illustrator, you would just do the join. That would work. The join now? Is oh, that's how you do it. All right, lines are joined together. This guy. Now let's check our measurements. Make sure everything is fine. I want to take a point from here to here. We should be 71, something like that. All right, so a little bit less than 70, 71. Wanted to be around 71. So what is the problem if we're less than that? Double checking on our battery to see what that looks like. If it's 70.5, it's not horrible. So if my curve is off by a little bit, that might be just enough to help me work with it okay. See that mirror? Not right. I'd expect the mirror to be perfect, but I'm wondering. I think the line that I drew might have been wacky. So let's undo. That line is not straight. That's the problem. Alright, so now we want, just draw a rectangle. So that'll enforce a straight line. Now we can mirror. Mirror. Select this line to mirror. Okay. Let's check our measurement. 9.4. Like it's going straight across. It should, because it's a mirror now, right? And delete this guy. That just it's so weird. Do so like an impossible line or something. When I deleted that, just select that line. Yeah. See if I can delete this point. It really doesn't even matter. I can leave it. See what happens. Yep, I can still move it. Oh, I'm sorry. Because when I select that, I expect this to be selected. That needs to be joined there. Is there something that will let me? Definitely a point, but I don't think the point's going to do anything. I think that helps. Oh, okay. That just messed this up, right? And I got relationships going on there, so it's kind of making things kind of wacky. Well, look at that. Kind of cool. That's fun stuff. Now, yes, it is. Perfect. I'm taking it. All right, that's where we're. So if I double click here, yep, everything is selected. That's exactly what I want. All right, now I got to proceed with some measurements. For our next measurement, we got a little measurement from here. There's this part here where it comes down. A measure from there. And it is 9 millimeters. I got a feeling I'm going to have to print this a couple times. There's a lot going on in this. And that's over by right about separator. I just need to make sure that it over to this point is 3 millimeters. So we will draw a line. This will be, no, this won't be. 3 millimeters. I got a point of 3 millimeters. Then now, so I got this 3 millimeter distance here, right? Then there's a part where it comes down. I really want that 3. I don't know that I want that. That might go all the way across. So let's just take this all the way across. Ew, not like that. Not like that either. And draw this line straight across. This will close off this. The only other part I got to worry about is this. This is the, when I press this, they drop down, and that's what'll allow it to lock into place. Reality is, I don't have to, yeah, okay, so I need this. I still need this part because it's got to connect under here. There's 2 ridges on the left and the right where it slides into, and then it locks into this part that captures the mount so it stays secure to the tool. So the battery cover is going to do a similar thing. It's going to have, obviously be, it may not even have to be extruded too far. I could probably extrude it just even to the top of this and really just have a hole to receive this, right? I don't need this big complicated thing, and it'll save on material. The whole point of this is to cover that area there. So I do have to measure down to this point. Take me to 20 millimeter. So I measured 20 millimeter from this point up here to the bottom of this angle part, because I don't think I need to worry about that angle part. I could be wrong, but I don't think I have to worry about it. Let's do construction, and I'm just going to draw a rectangle down 20. We can go over. There's a couple places, so worry about. I'm just eyeing this up. Let's say 6 millimeters by 20. So 6 too much. Now I got to measure. What I want to measure is from this outer ridge to the inside. And I got 3.5. And now I'm getting 4. This is why you want to measure multiple times, because your measurement could be way off. I have 4. That's 4, so I need another construction line. Make this one a width of 4 by 20. And then the depth, the height of this inner part where the lip goes into catch the battery. I have to measure that. So I got a measurement of 5.8. That's the height. So width, height, 5.8 millimeters. Then I need the distance along this part here. Okay. I don't need to cover the entire thing. .48 millimeters. So this is, I don't even know what to call it, lip length. 48 millimeters. So that's 48 millimeters from this point. I think. Let's double check that. Yep. I just measured 68. And it's going to go here all the way across, right? Down 68. Locked in. That didn't move in. It should have been locked. Yep, we're locked there. All right. And then we can do a fillet here. Small one, not a large one. Maybe 3, 5. So I just right click to bring up that menu. And this is construction, but at this point, why? At this point, I can make this solid. And so these are working this area for this lip. So for the extrusion, there's 2 levels that have to be extruded. So let's get this measurement out of the way. So from the topmost point here, .6 millimeters. That's where this rectangle opening needs to be, and it will be 22 millimeters wide by 'It really doesn't matter about how deep, so we'll just make it 9. 22 by 9. So we want a rectangle? No. Draw another rectangle here. Goes down 4.5. It'll be the center of that rectangle. We'll do a center point rectangle. And we said the height was 9 and 22. That's it. 22. That's the catch this latch. When I slide the cover on, it'll catch. Double check that measurement. At 18. 5. This needs to be defined in my parameters. So parameters, you go to modify, change parameters, and I'm going to create a new parameter. This will be top of hook opening to top of battery cover. And now I got a measurement of 18. And just cover. And this measurement still holds, so that's fine. So see, that's relative to this measurement. When I entered that value, now I can change that parameter and this opening will move down. So that opening's good. I should do. Oh. What I should do is print this out, just this section here, extrude it by a little bit, print it out, and see if it fits in here while I'm still working on this other area. And that way, if there's a problem, I can make an adjustment. I can measure, find out where it's off, make an adjustment, and redo it. I'm doing extrude. Up by to 2 millimeters. So that's the part I'm extruding there. Let's save that. Test piece. Let me get the printer warmed up. just got little boogers off of the printer. Alright, now we got that. Let's start the slicer. And we're going to go rigid. Alright, now we got to rotate this around the y-axis, I believe. We'll arrange a slice, make sure we are still. Hey, so if you didn't get from the title, I'm creating a cover for my rigid battery, and I'm printing a test piece while I continue working on the model. So I scanned in. I'll recap real quick what I did. So I scanned in the battery using my scanner, and then traced the outline as best I could in Photoshop, Illustrator. Didn't do such a good job over here, but I did an okay job here. And so I used that part in, brought it over into Fusion 360 with these two reference lines that were aligned on the label, assuming that the label's square with the battery. And then rotated it so it was square, cut off the right side, mirrored it within Fusion 360 so that I had it accurate. Started working on the bottom part that connects all this junk here so that the cover actually slides on and fits. And then I decided at this point I'm just going to cut it off just to create this test piece to make sure I at least have this part working before I start working down here. And I just extruded this 2mm and I'm about to print it now. So that's where we're at. And I'm working on something else. My train of thought, slicing, export. Did I already export? Yes. So I gotta open up to Octo print. Upload. Going for, let's see. Oh, yeah. Great. That. I'm in the wrong place. Go to my project. 3D printing, rigid. Small file. Still gonna take a long time to print. Hey Chris. Thanks for joining. I did the recap. I don't know if you caught the recap, but I can do it quickly. Right now I'm just printing this test piece while I continue working on the model. I want to make sure that my model is okay. Just make sure the printer doesn't crash. It's still warming up. I connected and forgot that it cooled down. I took this battery, which is a rigid battery, and scanned it into my combination copier, scanner, fax printer. Brought it into Adobe Illustrator, traced the lines for this part here, which is actually part of the tool that kind of snaps in. And then drew two reference lines relative to the label, because I figured that way, and I hope you can still hear me over the noise here. I just want to make sure it doesn't crash into the bed. Okay, good. So I drew these two lines relative to the inside part of the label just by zooming all the way in and looking at the pixels in Illustrator. Saved that as an SVG, brought that SVG into Fusion 360, then rotated. I don't need to see the body now, but I do want to see the sketch. Rotated this part until it was square with relative to my axes. And then, although I probably could have taken an axis and made it relative to that part, couldn't I have? That would probably make things easier. And then cut off the right half because I wasn't satisfied with the way that I drew it. Mirrored this to the right, mirrored this half to the right half. And I measured out this opening for this clasp. So that's what I got done so far. Then here were some construction lines. And the printer I got is the 360. Wait, so you're saying I could have brought a photo into Fusion 360? Well, alright, so I did not know that. That's one less step. That's awesome. So it looked fine in Illustrator. The picture I measured, I was able to measure. I set the units to millimeters. I measured from the one point to the other point, and it was like dead on. When I brought it into Fusion 360, it was off by like a third. And anyway, I had to scale it. I had to upscale it by 1.33. Oh, that's nice. Yeah. See, I should have done that. I didn't know that. Alright. So Fusion 360 does have a lot of stuff in it. I'm still learning. I mean, everybody knows I'm still learning. So that's one less thing I got to worry about in the future. Keep that in the back of my mind. So now there's these lips that when the tool snaps on, it keeps pressure. This part keeps pressure for the battery. So that's the part I'm working on right now. And I need to draw the bottom layer and then extrude it upward for the one part, because that's got to go in. It's got to go into this part. Got to stick under, right? And then it needs to come down to here at an angle, but I don't know that I'm going to worry about this angle exactly. I might not even care. I would like to get the radius of this though. Maybe I can change that. Talking about this, the fillet here. That is 16. It said 16 or 17. Let's see if we can change that. I don't know if I can change this fillet on the fly. Oh yeah, I can. 17. What in the world? I got something relative to something. That was really weird. I see something going on here. Let's see. Fillet. 17, yep. 17. So that should match, if my measurement was correct, that should match that. Just to keep it smooth. I'm not really worried about that. I don't care if it comes out square. But it's better it's curved so it doesn't tear a hole in my tool bag. Alright, now I need the ridges. 2 ridges on the left and the right side to come in and cover this. Now this part is going to be another part down here. It's going to be lower. So when I create a offset plane, I have a tough time rotating this. I'm going to create an offset plane down. How much? $12mm, 11.7mm. So that's for copying this guy. I had this trouble before. It wasn't letting me copy or paste. Oh, that's good. I think it was, I had to select this, that's the plane I'm on, but I don't want that. Nope. Copy. All I'm trying to do is copy and paste this. I had this trouble before. And what do I want? I want the YZ plane. I copy and paste this guy. Copy and paste 10. Is it the mode that I'm in? Yep, gotta be the mode. Because now I see the grid lines. There we go. Now I want him to go up to this other plane. Which was 11.7. The x-axis. Yeah, I will. I'll get a screenshot of this because I don't like that the live chat comments aren't saved. Using my phone to see the comments. Nope, not what I want. Nope. Like we're going in the Z direction. There we go. Alright, so that's what needs to be extruded. So I'll work on the one plane for the one thing. Alright, so that, there's two parts to that need to be extruded. One is inside here, so I should measure this inside part. I don't really need to take up a lot of material, but it would help to keep it centered. So I'm not going to go to the extent, so that is 43, so I'll just call it 0 out again, make my measurement. I got 44, I'll go with 43 millimeters. That's an inner. I want the center point. Let's go with construction. Yeah, Bob saved me. No, I don't want that to be construction. Bob saved me on one of my streams. I was trying to do something, I don't remember, and he's saying use the right panel, and I didn't even know what the right panel meant. And eventually I figured it out. Because he pointed me in a direction. I forget whose videos I was watching, but it was pretty good. Clean one. Not latching on the corner. Snap, concentric, midpoint. I wonder if midpoint will work. Oh, that's not picking the midpoint. Midpoint on this line. Oh, I don't have midpoint selected. Then I go to here. It turns that off. That's not what I want. Maybe I'll just do a line. Midpoint. What I'm hoping is that I can get the midpoint here. But it's not giving me anything to snap to. Not just a point. Okay, there's the midpoint. That I changed. That was cool. I think I just learned something. Not what I'm trying to do. So if I select this line, can I get the midpoint? Alright, let's do construct. I don't know if the midpoint will help. 16 minutes left on the print. Got an axis to the edge. It doesn't help me though. Here we go. There's the midpoint. Alright, that's cool. Now they got that. I can do construction line. All I wanted was the midpoint. Make that construction. Okay, we got a midpoint. So now, again, I want to measure from relative to where. Relative to. So we got 55. I'll take a point from here. And we'll come down to 55. So that'll be the top of this part here. And then I want to measure down to up there. So I get 39. All right. 39, but what am I going on here? So that's from the top. Total distance for the battery is 119 millimeters. Let's do a dimension here. That's 119. I need to bring this guy down. He is set on something. I got a lot of constraints here, kind of holding me up. Because we have construction on here to 119 millimeters. That's where I need to come down to. So this piece needs to move down to that spot. A free move, and I want to move along wrong way. Oh, what is going on with that? Did you notice it? That's the wrong piece I'm moving. Rotate this way. And I need to move him down. So let's measure that distance. And from here, here. 14. So this whole thing needs to move down 14. What? So we're going to move too much. Okay, with 9, so we'll go with 8. Alright, I moved the whole thing down. And this is no longer construction. Yep, that's a solid. And I think we need to trim some of that down. This is going to be the bottom layer from here. Saying that's 50, 55, 56. Go back in more whites. There we go, that's what I want to play with. You want to come down. We want this to be 55 from the bottom. Now that means this line needs to come down to that point. This line here. Let me move it. Not. I need to dimension it. I need to go back to the other plane. Maybe I'll just draw another one. I'm alright with that. So we want a center point to be the center of this one line here. At the center, 27. I know. Too much going on right here. I wonder if they got layers. And I could think in layers where I could hide different layers. Center point right there. Now we can do a center rectangle. Doesn't make sense. Center point is not where I expected it. Measuring 55. Alright, so that finished. So if I did everything right, this part will... Wow. That's a perfect fit. All this is going to work just fine. Small amount of play left and right, but it's locked in there. So when I remove the clasp, I can slide it out. We're on the right track. Yeah, I'm definitely happy with that. It came out nicely. And when I push it all the way up against, I'm wondering now if maybe I can drop that distance down some, or no. Now, you know what? I think it has to be that way because trying to, you know, with the extrusion. So it protrudes out, fine, it catches it, right? So it's not going to slide off. But I think what I need to do is this extrusion, instead of coming straight through at that one point, I need to come at an angle. Because I need the clasp, you can hear it. I don't want to break the clasp in that. You can hear it catching. Well, I guess you want it to catch, but really what I'm trying to catch is this the top part. If I catch the top part, I'm good. Maybe halfway down, just cut out a little bit of that. Yeah, that's looking real good. I just got to work through these other issues that I'm having. So I'm thinking maybe it can be a little bit wider so it doesn't slide around left and right. Yeah, that's the part I was struggling with. So maybe if I play with that, well, I can actually make a measurement right now. So I'll slide it over to one side like that, and I'll take a measurement, and I'll see how far I'm off. So I got a measurement of 1.79. And this total width of this part here is 69. And the measurement I got on here is about 73. Close to 73. So I could bump it up, scale it up by the smallest amount, right? So that it fits. So it fits perfectly within that area. Yeah, cool stuff. Definitely cool. So this whole pattern needs to extend down all the way to this spot here. So to measure that, latch on to that, and I'm eyeing it up right now, and I got about 120 millimeters from the topmost part all the way down to the bottom. And the radius I got for this billet is about, assuming it's a perfect radius, which looks like it is. I'm not measuring 17 like I thought it was. I'm measuring 13. Could be off by a little bit. 17. I was just trying to make sure I got right to the tangent point here, but even that's not perfect. I'll call that a success. All right, so I think I'm going to end the stream here. I'll pick it up again tomorrow night. Then Friday night we have the Friday night 3D printer hangout. So I'll definitely pick this up and finish this. This is for me, this is good progress. I mean, I got exactly where I needed to get to. This part was the high risk for me. It was an unknown for me. I considered it a high risk, and I wanted to tackle that first. These other things that I'm having difficulty with drawing is just because my lack of knowledge of Fusion 360. And I'm hoping between now and then I'll do a little bit of reading and get that figured out. And then when I do the live stream tomorrow, hopefully we can finish this. And then by the time we have our Friday night 3D printer hangouts at 10 o'clock Eastern time, Friday night, this will this will have been printed or will be printing while I'm in live stream with them. So thanks everyone for sticking around and watching, and we'll pick this up tomorrow evening. And make sure you you hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, check out my other videos, anyway, good progress today.